meeting, November 30th, 2020. The time is 6:01. Ginger, can you call roll?
Yes, Committee Member Grasso.
Here.
Committee Member Kellogg.
Present.
Committee Member Lee.
Here.
Committee Member Pruitt.
Here.
Chair Brinkeroff.
Here. Does Ginger need to explain this since there's no public?
Let's just do it the first time.
Sure. Good evening, everyone. Viewers are welcome to provide public comment online through Zoom or by telephone at 669-900-9128. And the meeting ID is 914-73861-142#. If you are watching the meeting on Zoom and wish to provide public comment, please select the raise hand feature either on the bottom of your screen or through the participants icon. If you are participating by telephone and wish to provide public comments, please press *9 when the chair opens the public comment period. When it is your turn to speak, you will be notified that the host is inviting you to participate. You will need to press *6 to unmute yourself. Once you're unmuted, you will have 3 minutes to provide your comments.
Thank you, Ginger.
Are there any amendments to the evening's agenda? Let's see, agenda. Shall we, any discussion over the minutes for the last meeting?
I'm not sure. Did we get those minutes from the last meeting?
It was included
in the packet.
Well, what packet for tonight's meeting?
Yes, yes.
I missed it. Sorry, folks. So I'll have to, I haven't read them.
It was fine.
If Phyllis agrees, I'll agree.
The main change was that they put in that other guy's name for my name, remember?
What other guy?
Some other group, apparently.
Some other meeting.
Oh. Well, take me back a minute. Sorry, folks. Where were they? Are they attached to the original email from Henry about this meeting? The link that I sent has the entire packet, which includes the agenda, the minutes, and the draft report.
Right.
Sorry, I apologize. I didn't go deep enough into your email. Yeah, it has on the city website, there's a tab for the agenda and one for the entire packet. I'll get it mañana.
Well, you're going to want to see that now, I think, because later on we'll discuss the draft report, which is included in there.
Yeah, I was going to share my screen for the draft report. So, you know, if maybe that. Yeah. Don't let me hold you up. I'll get it all.
Although Peter hasn't seen it, anyone want to approve last meeting? I guess it's just two of us who are here.
Well, I will move that we accept the last week's minutes.
Okay, I'll second that if I can.
I have great confidence in your ability to be sure it's correct. So thank you. I apologize.
Do we need to take a vote on that? But there's only really two of us who can vote.
And we're gonna skip the public comment because there's no public, right?
It's no public, and I can go ahead and take the roll.
Okay.
Or not the roll, but
Roll call vote.
Yes, exactly. All right, committee member Grasso.
You want me to, okay, I'll say yes or I approve.
Committee member Kellogg.
I approve.
Committee member Lee.
Abstain.
Committee member Pruitt.
I approve.
Chair Brinkroff.
Yes.
Thank you.
Are we just moving to the only agenda item is the draft, I guess.
Introduction of new members.
Okay, I thought we already said hi.
So I would like to introduce our new member, Gail Grasso. And I thought we could go around the room and just say a couple things about yourself and, you know, welcome, Gail. Who wants to start?
I'll start. Retired, lived in San Rafael 20 years. Been on Measure C committee for, how long was that, Phyllis? I remember 6 years. Now Measure D for 4. I have great respect for the...
Oh, you're Peter Lee. I'm trying to read your name at the bottom. That's right, you're Peter Lee?
Peter Lee, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
And have great respect for the operation of the world famous San Rafael Library and look forward to continuing to serve.
Okay.
Thanks, Peter.
My name is Greg Kellogg. I was not involved in Measure C, but I've been involved with Measure D since the beginning. Has it been 4 years? It's hard to believe.
Yeah.
I am unlike many of the other people here, my background is actually technology, and I do have some experience, particularly in digital library technology, which is what made me interested in this in the first place. And I am pretty much retired, although pretty much working full time on my own side projects.
Where's your dog?
Thanks, Greg.
They're not making this. I have 2 of them. They usually make themselves noticed some point during the meeting.
They're handsome animals.
They are.
Gil. Oh.
Gil, you want to say something?
Oh yeah, sure. I'm a retired IT consultant, and I keep busy with photography and golf, and I'm a big fan of San Rafael Library.
All right.
What's your handicap?
Diminished a lot during the pandemic.
Yes, indeed.
I've been a member of Measure C and D, and I don't know if Peter mentioned it, we are also on the board of the Friends of the San Rafael Public Library. I'm sort of retired from being a financial person for a commercial real estate firm, but I am still sort of working on that.
Good time to be in real estate, right?
It's still going good. My husband's still with the company, but I'm sort of retired, but consulting on some stuff.
Thanks, Phyllis. I'm Henry Benkett, Assistant Library and Recreation Director. I've been here for 5 years. I live in San Rafael. Jinder is our admin, and he might want to say hello again. And he's been here way longer than me. Yay, Jinder. And Gail, do you want to tell us about yourself?
I can see there might be a problem in the future because every time you said Gil, I thought somebody was saying Gail because they sound alike over things. So I have to, yeah. I've lived in this Terra area about 50 years. And yeah, I'm a retired lab scientist from Kaiser's right here in Terra Linda. Whoop. Okay, I'm going out. And looking forward to seeing what you folks are doing with our tax money. Very interested in I was talking with Henry this afternoon about the selection for the new library because I was kind of excited about the one put possibly for Terra Linda, but it doesn't look like that's happening. And I'm retired. Yes. Okay.
We're glad to have you join.
Pardon me?
I said we're glad to have you joining our group.
Oh, what a pleasure. Right?
Yes.
50 years, you've seen a lot of change in San Rafael.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think I've lived too long, you know, all the stuff going on in this world. It's just overwhelming. Yeah. I was a little kid and they used to bring us down to the park there where you want to, one of the potential sites for the library. It's the park right there around the corner from you.
Boyd Park.
Boyd Park, yeah. It was really cool when we were little. Go up to the top of the hill there was a turtle pond. And then I guess things really went downhill. Now it's all restored and evidently waiting for a new library or not. Yeah. Okay. Any questions? Okay.
Hearing none. Thank you, Gail. We're at the public comment section where normally, people from the public could speak.
There are currently no attendees.
Okay.
Maybe Ginger wants to speak. No. So will we move to our only item, I guess? So.
Yes, I can share my screen so that we can all see the draft report. And then maybe Phyllis, since you wrote it, you can start off. Does that sound good?
Okay.
All right. Okay, can everyone see that?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So Phyllis, tell us, walk us through.
Well, basically, you remember we weren't going to have to do this so soon, but then Henry decided maybe we should, I guess. But anyway, this one, I didn't think about that hard, except I wanted to have in it what is sort of the history behind the committee. So basically the first part of it just talks about things that we've said in several of the past write-ups. And then the current, so the first half of that page, all the way down here, what the sole function is, and then what we've done in trying to maintain our proportionality to the general fund. And then the agreement that we came to last year, that the general agreement is that proportionality would remain 4.4%, but it is a share goal that is non-binding. It is a goal of the committee to be in alignment with the ongoing proportionality that has been established. So that was that the library's general fund budget would be 4.4% of the total general fund. But now, as Henry pointed out at prior meeting, with the pandemic, there's really no way that the library can maintain 4.4% of the general fund. And that will at least continue through the current fiscal year, and who knows what happens after that. The city has had to maintain more of the public safety staff and at higher levels while revenue is down. I don't know what passing that Measure R may have helped some. So the total proportion of the general library fund was 3.5% for last fiscal year. And that share was mainly cut by staffing budget. And I did make this one comment that the amount that was actually cut from the library's budget was basically to not add to the full-time staff. And this has been for 2 years, 2018, 19, 2019, and 2020. But now we don't know whether that will ever happen, because who knows when we'll be back to normal and whether or not that will change. I mean, proportionality was a good thing to be able to follow in the past, but I don't know how we can tell what that will be going forward. And then
I like the part at the end. Yeah. The last paragraph.
Well, I know a lot of people feel that way. You folks have done a great job.
Yeah, thank you, Phyllis. With regards to Measure R, that wouldn't come into effect until this fiscal year, so it wouldn't affect the fiscal year that ended in July. But that should help us out somewhat. And you called out that if we had stayed on budget, we would have been at 4.35% versus the 3.51. And yes, the open unfilled positions that we've been holding since the previous fiscal year and ongoing, that has allowed us to kind of save some money in the sort of budget crisis that we're in. But the future is unknown at this point. But with Measure R passing, there is some positive in that dire kind of future.
Any comments?
I think it looks good. I've got some generic questions to ask Henry. Henry, it'll be all right, Madam Chairman?
Okay.
On the Marin net, we talked about that, and I realized we prepaid our annual service to Marin net. You mentioned that you and some of your colleagues are working to get a better distribution of the allocation of those funds so that we don't pick up such a large portion of it. Have you had any headway on that?
Well, with regards to how it affects this particular report, no. That's like the oil tanker, and we're like the tugboat. So we're working to be more responsible in terms of spending for the services we get, and how it's reflected in this report is that's one of those fixed costs that we can't really change without some institutional change, which we've discussed in previous meetings. But as far as, we're able to, I think the board is becoming more kind of cohesive in its decision-making, and I hope in the future that we would be able to reap the rewards of like a cloud-based open source library system, which would save a ton of money and basically pain, but we remain in a client server kind of old school environment that we can't really change right now. But, you know, I'm a Mr. Change It All right away. But the funny thing with people is that like they don't like change.
Yeah,
but,
maybe maybe you should, fellas, maybe we should say the report looks good and then go to other questions, because I have some that might not pertain to this particular report.
Sure, but are you okay with this report?
The other questions from the board regarding the report, comments, corrections, edits?
Just a quickie, what is MarinNet a service to the patrons?
Good question, thank you. MarinNet is the acronym for our shared consortium of public libraries and including and also Dominican University and College of Marin that serves anyone with the same library card in Marin County.
Okay.
So we pay them for running the online catalog, basically.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I have no questions on it. I just, having been through a process of putting this together in the past, I know there's a lot of work that goes into it, and I just want to thank you, Phyllis, for taking this on yet again and doing a marvelous job.
This one was easy because it's half was what we said before, and then there's just, we can't really, I don't think there's any way that we can actually delve into what was spent, because this is such an unusual time. Should we take a vote whether we want to use this? And
yeah, let's have Jinder call the roll.
he left.
No, I'm still here.
I can stop sharing my screen if that's okay.
So is the proposal to accept the report as is for the committee's final report?
Yes, with the caveat that I will require everyone's sort of digital signature. So I'll be emailing you to get like a copy of your signature in some way, shape, or form. Just a picture of your signature would be cool. I think that's the low-tech way to go that we usually have as a second page to this report. Given that it's a pandemic and I'm not going to come around to your house. So the motion that Greg made, we need a second. Yeah, what? Peter has a question.
Question is, when are you submitting the report to the city council? December or after the first of the year?
So I talked to Nadine, director of finance, and she wants to get it by the next meeting, which is 2 weeks from today. So, or 2 weeks from Monday. So I think we can get it in the last meeting of December, which would be
14th.
Yeah. And so I have a week to write my staff report, which will go with this. So yeah, it would be in the usually on the consent calendar for the last meeting. Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay. Is there a second?
Yes.
Wait.
Okay,
Mr.
cool.
Lee.
You moved. You can't be a second. Wait.
Who moved to make the motion?
I stated the motion, so you can take that as my moving to.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, committee member Grasso.
I approve.
Committee member Kellogg.
Approve.
Committee member Lee.
Approve.
Committee member Pruitt.
I approve.
Chair Brinkerhoff?
Approve. So I guess we agreed 5-0. So I guess that's it.
Thank you, everyone. And I will be emailing you for your signature. The easiest way is just to take a picture on your phone and send it to me.
And actually of our signature?
Yeah. And I'll take that as your...
My Mac anyway has the ability to affix a digital signature to a PDF. So
yeah, we could try that.
That's an easy way to do
want.
it.
Yeah. So what we could do is end the meeting, and then if there's questions, we can have a little wrap up here. But the official part of the meeting is over. We don't want to violate the Brown Act by discussing things that weren't on the agenda. And I guess if we even end the meeting and discuss things, we'll be violating the Brown Act, because even if the meeting's ended, we're still here and we're on the committee and we can't really discuss stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Is there a date for the next meeting?
Oh, good question. No, we don't have a specific date. We've been a little bit loosey-goosey. Yeah. But what I will do is, in terms of the meetings for next year, I will put together a schedule and send it out to you. I think we should aim for meeting quarterly. That's what we have in the past. So sometime in January, February, March. Maybe March-ish, and then April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. Yeah, we've kind of strayed from the regular time. But how about for communication about that, and for the next meeting, we'll have a schedule of meetings for the following year. Okay. Housekeeping. And then I think, Phyllis, you've been chair for like a year or more.
Whenever this one started, we're supposed to change every year.
Yeah, we got to do that. So that'll be on there.
We lose our contract in June.
Okay, some people's time is up.
Well, Peter and I are up.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we got all kinds of things here.
So we need to have meetings. But we need a meeting.
So if we've harassed you enough, you can send us out to pasture and get someone else.
Yeah. So that's all good. So I will contact you by doodle for next meeting dates. We will look at election of chair and vice chair, and the cycle of who's ending when, and when new people will come on the committee. In the interim, I'll put the signatures together for this report, and I will have a final report just to accompany this. The measure says the finance director writes the final report, but usually we collaborate. But there shouldn't be any surprises there. Sound good?
Are you cutting us off? I've got some questions, operational questions. Do you got a minute?
I can talk to you, only you, or one other person, but no more than two. Well, so yeah, we have to end the meeting. Oh, so how about
say good night?
Yeah, let's call it an end.
Operational. You know.
And then Peter and I can talk after, and then we can stop the recording at some point, right, Jinder?
Well, stop the recording. Let's stay online. These could be helpful. Just follow-up questions. You
Anyone else?
I guess the question is, do they pertain to the agenda or not? If they pertain to the agenda, then I guess we can discuss it. If it's not on the agenda, then we haven't given the public an opportunity to participate.
Okay. I have a question, then I'll let it move. How about Measure R? What impact what does that impact have on the library?
Yeah, it's not on the agenda, but we can talk directly. Do you want me to call you?
Are we getting a piece of that action?
The entire city benefits, but we can't really discuss it in any detail. So
you tell us at the next Friends meeting.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, that would be a good idea. Okay, I'll yield to Phil's great suggestion.
Okay, Wednesday. Next week. Yeah.
Next week.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. Well, good rest of the year to everyone.
Thank you.
New Year's.
Happy New Year. Pleasure doing business with you.
Yes. Thanks, Phyllis. Thanks, Jinder.
Nice to meet you all.
Nice.
Gail.
You too, Gail.
Thanks, Gail and Gail.
I didn't say this, but my neighbor, who I said I was going to apply for this earlier in the year, turns out I'm replacing her. It was Pam Cook. So I guess
Okay.
Yeah.
We never spoke about this. She said, "Oh, I just left the committee."
Well, room for you. Good.
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
Ciao, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Indeed. Thank you, Henry.
All right. Bye.
Bye.